Hey y'all, welcome to the Moving with Millennials podcast with your favorite millennial realtors.
We are 4 top producing agents in the DFW area, and we are ready to share the good, bad, and the real life of real estate.
Whether you're thinking about getting into real estate, already an agent, or just curious about what your agent really does, join us.
Tune in every Wednesday to see what it's really like to be on this side of the transaction.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Moving with Millennials. It is officially the first week of spring, so we are going to talk about all things spring cleaning.
I'm so excited. The weather's so nice.
I know.
I hope it stays this way though.
Spring is my
I'm
favorite
terrified
season.
it's going to get cold again.
I feel like we usually have like one more cold snap before Easter.
Yeah. There's
Or
always
the
like one
rain.
last like freeze or like
Yeah.
less cold.
Well, I forget rain season is like coming up too. Like we had a random thunderstorm like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
There was one year
So
when
random.
it like rained like for a month of May.
Remember
Don't
that?
know
I
if
love
was like
that,
a few.
actually. Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
like
like
a huge
rain.
fan of like rain. So.
No.
I don't like it for long periods.
We
of
just
time.
want nice weather, nice, bright, light.
Well,
Light and airy.
Oh my
Light
gosh,
airy.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, so jumping in. So I was super excited for this. We kind of originally talked about this idea because I fell in love with the Tidying Up show on Netflix. I don't know if any of you guys have watched it with Marie Kondo. But she would take like basically like hoarders and like walk them through like how to like organize their home. So we're gonna talk a little bit about her method and kind of like her ideas for organization. Then we'll get into like some home maintenance stuff and spring cleaning and all the goods.
Yeah.
So the first thing is like for her method, she splits it up really into like 5 steps. So the first step is going to be discarding by category is like the very first step. So she breaks categories into like clothes first, then books, paper, miscellaneous, and then the very last things you should be organizing are sentimental or like
things you
like
want
that.
to keep, but should you be keeping all of it?
Yeah, like the hard stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the first step is just like identify your categories and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, no, this is great. I'm like kind of in the middle of this right now with nesting. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I've gone through clothes. I feel like I'm good there, but now it's like office needs that. I need paper gone.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I actually have to do this for clothes like twice a year.
Same.
Because I shop maybe a little more than my closet can hold. So
Right.
I've got to like rotate things.
Yeah, and I just did this when we moved. The next category is break a category into subcategories. This is really makes it a lot easier when you're trying to get rid of things. So you put all of your clothing in piles, like into different subcategories. So tops, shirts, sweaters, bottoms. You do like pants, skirts, shorts, and then clothes that should be hung versus not hang up clothes, jackets, coats, suits, etc. And then your other categories of socks, underwear, bags, accessories, which for me, that could go into a million different
Right.
categories.
Accessory subcategories should probably be broken into additional subcategories.
Yes, headbands, earrings, yes, all
Right.
the things. And then clothes for specific purposes like swimsuits and uniforms, things like that. And shoes, which also could be subcategorized.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you
Boots,
guys
shoes.
good about getting rid of your shoes once they're worn?
I'm not.
I am
I am.
because I'm really like my shoes, especially work shoes. Like I'm very minimalist, where I just go to like Old Navy is like one of my favorite places for those shoes. They're like the flats, the ghost toe flats.
Like mules.
So once I get and when I'm there, I usually buy like 2 or 3 like black ones because that's a staple for me. And then I will rotate, like throw them out.
Yeah.
Put the new ones in when they get to that point.
I wear like lots of different shoes. I think like I definitely have like one kind of like that I wear like mostly for work, but like other like social things like all that. Like I have a lot of shoes that I rotate through. I like love shoes so
Same. I
much.
have a whole closet of shoes.
In fact, like a lot of mine are stored like in these like little plastic garage things, and they're all
Yes.
turned the same exact direction.
Yeah.
Like the left shoe is facing forward and the right shoe faces backwards, so I can see both sides of the
Oh my
shoe as I'm
gosh.
taking it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Can you
I'm
share
like
that?
obsessed.
I need one of those.
Yes, so I can share where I got them. I also like when this episode goes live, I'll also post on stories. Like my closet is also color coded.
Me too.
Yeah.
So short
Nice.
sleeves are all color coded,
Mm-hmm.
and then long sleeves are separate, and they're color coded as well. And then my shoes, like the garages, like stack, they're up 2, and so those are done by similar styles. It's like boots are in like one little column, Nike like wearables are like another one, and so it's all separated out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that way it stays organized through the year.
I think how I determine if I need to throw away clothes is based off of like how many hangers I have left. Like I don't let myself buy new hangers,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like when I get to
Just
the
did
point
that.
where I buy new clothes and I'm like, oh, I don't have any hangers. I'm like, dang it, I need 10 more hangers. So I got to get rid of 10 things.
Yeah.
That's good though.
Yeah.
That's
My mom
kind of in my
always growing up was like, okay, throw out anything you haven't worn in 6 months. And I could never do that because I'm like,
Oh,
well,
that's half
I
my-
have not worn
more
this.
than
I
half my
haven't worn
closet.
this probably in 6 months, but it's like one of my favorite dresses. So it's like,
Yeah.
that I don't follow that rule, but she always.
Yeah. I have
would
stuff
say
I
that.
haven't worn probably in years in my closet.
Yes,
But I
same.
hold on to it because I'm like, but just in case.
Right.
When stuff is like special occasions where
Yeah.
like you could wear it.
Yeah.
Again.
I think a good tip for that is I heard somewhere that you should flip your hangers
Oh.
at the
I did that
beginning of
one
the year,
year.
January 1st. And so on December 31st, whatever you haven't worn in that year, whatever hanger is still flipped, that's a good tell. As long as it's
I
not
like
like
it.
like pretty dresses that you'll wear for occasions. Obviously,
Yeah.
those are different, but like your like sweaters or long t-shirts,
Or
like long
day-to-day.
shirts,
Yeah.
yeah. If you haven't worn them in a year,
So I did a different version of that before I moved from my last house into my condo. What I did, like when I knew that was coming up, I started switching to wood hangers. So when I washed and put something out, I would hang it on a wood hanger. So that way when I was done, everything that was on a wood hanger definitely came with me. Anything that was still left on like an older hanger, like I like kind of did this with. I was like, okay, I haven't worn it. Do I really need it? Do I like it? Whatever. And so that was like how I did it.
Yeah.
So the next thing then, what you did is you asked yourself,
Yes.
does it spark joy?
joy. Which, seeing her say it on the Netflix
I
show,
love
it's like
it.
it's so cute when she explains to people. You know, it's like, does it spark joy? And so like you literally have to pick up the items. Like her method is like pick it up one by one.
that's a problem for me. I'm like, I love it all.
Yeah.
Yes. And so for people that love clothes, like this is very difficult because it's like
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
as Maggie. It's like it may be a shirt that like I wear like twice a year, but it's like I love it
Yeah.
and I want it for
It
that
sparks
2 times a
joy.
year. Exactly. It sparks so much joy. It's like special, and I don't wear it all the time. You know, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So
For sure.
Right.
that is step 3, though. Definitely is to pick up her kind of like reasoning behind it, or really, I mean, her thing is just like pick it up one by one and ask yourself, do you love it? Does it make you happy, or does it spark joy?
Love it.
Yeah.
The next one would be, after you finish discarding, organize your space thoroughly and completely. This is when you decide where to put something and where to store it. You should store all of the items of the same type in the same place. And so don't scatter. Scatter. I think you just described this with the shoes and shirts and
Yeah.
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 So she was talking about like, and she even explains like books, like really you should have like all of your books in one place. And I think like in the show, she kind of explained like, unless you have like subcategories of books, like if you have textbooks and then you have like books that you read for pleasure, like those can be stored in separate places, but like specifically like subcategories should like always be in the same place. So if you're looking for a textbook or something, you know, paper wise, like if you have different types of papers that like you're trying to keep organized, that like bills are always in one place. Whereas like sentimental notes are always like, and it can always be together, or they can be together, all the subcategories, but at least individual subcategories always stay together.
Right.
yeah, mail stays in the mailbox. And
I know, I like never
Oh
check
gosh,
mine.
I know. Same. I'm terrible at checking
Yeah.
mail.
And this one, I have to agree on the 5 because I'm one of those, like I'm all in
The
or
5th
all
step,
out.
yeah.
Me too.
So the 5th step is do it all in one go. So like just get it all done at once. That's where I'm at right now, where it's like I'm almost waiting for like April to come. So it's like I'm a month out because I'm like, I don't really want to start nesting and throwing away stuff now. I'm going to wait till I get closer to, because then I'm going to go through and do everything at once.
Yeah.
I think this is what we were just talking about, and this leads into what we're going to do next is the spring cleaning, right? Like, I just want to take one day and know
Yeah.
that my day's blocked off, and I'm just going to give it hell for one day and just do it all. Because
Right.
I hate just clean the toilets, then you, like, go down this rabbit hole. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, now I have to do this. Like,
Yeah.
if you just plan
Yeah.
for the whole day to do it and block out your time, then it's going to be way more efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Like on the show, like for like these episodes, whatever, I mean, it will take like some of these families, like it'll take them like weeks to get through it, because it's like they'll do clothes.
It's like years of
it's,
stuff,
It's
though.
not even just like in one day that they'll do clothes. Like clothes will be their focus for like weeks, and it's like they block out like time each day. It's like, and that's like her like doing it at one time. It's like you just don't swap from category to category, and you don't move on from a category until it's
Yeah,
done.
that's so smart.
And so for me, it's like I would rather do like my closet in like one whole day, and then
Yeah.
like, but JC's closet also has to get done, and everything to a 7-year-old sparks joy. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, JC, like let me tell you what really sparks joy for us. You know, so it's
Yeah.
like there's a difference here. So
Yeah.
it's like, but like, so going through her closet, even though it's so much smaller, it still takes like a lot of time because you're having to explain. So it's like
Yeah.
you do have to like give yourself the time to really get
Yeah.
through it.
And they'll find stuff that they haven't worn. Like, Joe loves her cardigans. And I'm like, it is summer and you will not fit in this next year. And
Correct.
she's like, yeah, but. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, there's no buts.
JC, like,
Yeah.
well, JC,
I will fit into it again one day.
Yeah.
One of the things that like I have got to stop JC, but like I can't as a dad, is she keeps all of her special occasion dresses. It's like her dresses that she's worn for Christmas or for Christmas pictures or for Easter. They're always like really pretty, and so she just gets attached to them, and so she always like loves to keep them. So we had them like in a special section of her closet at the old house.
So they're all pretty.
My mom,
I bet they're special to you too.
Yes, I know.
Especially
They
with the
are.
pictures.
Yeah.
My mom kept one of my Christmas dresses, which was so cool. My 4-year-old Christmas dress, our 3, and Joe wore it last year for Christmas pictures. So that's what you should do. You should just save like your favorite one.
Yeah, a couple.
And then you can hand them down to her daughter.
Yeah.
Because
So
that's literally, that we plan to do that.
So
my mom
cool.
held on to some of my onesies when I was little, and she's going to give them to me. And so I'm a little excited for that. But
so we did something similar. We gave ourselves like boxes, and they were a certain size. Like when she turned 1, we looked at like all the clothes she'd had, like special toys, like anything that was like really special to her in like that first year. And we picked like our favorite things or the things that meant the most to her, and we would only keep what could fit in that box. And then we did the same thing with clothes from 1 to 2. And that way it was like our favorite outfits, like each one of us had a favorite outfit. We knew she had like a favorite outfit at that age, and then like any like really special toys. But like it limits, again, just that box, it at least keeps you like somewhat organized. But that's like one of my favorite things, because like I like when I was moving and whatnot, picking up that box like the first year and like seeing her favorite little pacifier and her favorite little toy and like things like that with like the tiniest little onesies, you know. So it's like those things will spark joy. It's like that box is never going to go anywhere. You know?
Yeah. Another thing I do is we keep like a bag, or I keep like a big bag around, and things I want to like donate. Something about like, as long as someone else can get it, I never throw like, unless it's like,
nice too.
I throw away underwear and stuff, but like, because I just don't think anybody wants those afterwards. But anyway, so those like bags, I just will like start putting things in like more of a donation pile. I feel like as long as I can like donate and somebody else can like, you know, use them, then it makes me feel so much better.
Yes. I think that's like super important. You know, we're
There's-
going to talk about like spring cleaning, so we'll talk about donations here in just like a little bit too. But yeah, I find that, I mean, it's even with JC's clothes, I either try to see if I've got a friend that's like a, you know, 6 months behind her that like I can give like the last season stuff to, or like we've got now like a niece that's a couple years younger than JC, like some of the stuff that JC's only worn once, that's like I'll hand those down, and then whatever's left, it goes to donations.
Yeah,
for sure.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so that's all like
Leslie.
Marie Kondo, or what is it, KonMari? Yeah.
KonMari.
The KonMari method, and she is Marie Kondo. Yes.
Marie Kondo.
Yes.
Love
So
it.
now let's jump into spring home maintenance.
So these are going to be exterior.
The first ones,
Well, I was just going to say, I feel like spring home maintenance, like we're talking about like cleaning out, clearing out, and, you know, depersonalizing your life basically, which is great. But the spring home maintenance, like for resale value and everything, I mean, you guys probably agree with this, but buyers are more willing to pay, and a home sells better if you are maintaining your home versus just doing all these updates.
100%.
Like, you could tell a difference on a home that's been maintained.
Definitely can. As soon as you walk in the door, you can tell like if it's been maintained.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that you're paying for, like if you're having someone come out and look at your roof, if you're having someone come out and service your HVAC, which these are all things we're going to talk about, keep all those receipts. Like having like a home maintenance binder is actually really helpful.
It is.
When you're going to sell.
Or even right now, everyone does email invoices, right? So we have a folder in our email for our address, and then that way it's easier.
So techie and
millennial
of you. I'm talking about a binder over here, and like,
I'm always
my Google Drive.
I know. I'm always like searching in my email, like HVAC invoice.
Me
it's
too.
Like, so I do not have those organized at all.
But let's run over the exterior really fast. I think these are all things that you should be doing every spring. Some of them multiple times a year. So the first one's clean out your gutters.
Huge. I feel like not just, we're coming into rainy season. So like, you know, when you have gutters full of leaves, if you have rain, I know I've walked into houses where we've had houses inspected where literally water is coming through the roof, and there's water stains that got into the attic because of because they had enough leaves in their gutters that it was clogging it up.
I actually showed a house last week that we could see that the gutters were full of water because the light was reflecting on the roof line.
Wow.
And so we like, my client, I did not, got like one of the patio chairs, like stood and like he took a picture. The gutters were just completely full of water and leaves and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's like
good.
Definitely
so huge. So whether you do it yourself or hire someone, just get it done. And you can actually, there's like grates that you
Gutter
could put.
guards.
Yeah, gutter guards is like kind of like a grate that you can put over it.
Those are good, but
protect.
stuff still gets in
Oh
there.
yeah, like
Sediment.
acorns.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The next one is annual garage door tune-up, which I've never done, but Mariana, you just...
Yes.
You're-
So this was one I had them add on here because we had our garage door wasn't working. So we had someone come out and it really just needed, he's like, oh, it just needs a tune-up. Like, I guess you needed to replace some of like the components and like
The
clean,
spring or
the
something,
spring and clean some of the things. And then it was working again. So it was really easy. And he goes, by the way, you should get a garage door tune-up every year. And I was like, no, I did not, but good to know. So,
Yeah.
and it wasn't very much. And if you do the tune-up, it really does prolong the life of your garage door,
Right.
which are very expensive to replace
Yeah,
if you ever
they
have to.
are.
So,
Right now it's hard to get. So I was talking to a builder the other day. He said garage springs are one of the things that's holding up builds
yeah.
right now. So make sure you maintain your garage because
Right.
you might not be able to fix it if
It
it
Yeah.
makes sense. You need like a tune-up for your car and like you need,
Yeah.
your HVAC service. It makes sense.
Yeah.
The garage.
yeah. Especially if you're spending a lot of time outside. I know we have our garage door open so much
Yeah.
more right now because we'll like kind of hang out in the garage sometimes when it's nice out like this.
Oh,
So,
just
Yeah.
Did y'all work out in the gym?
yeah, we
Did
work
y'all?
out there. Yeah.
I was like,
In the
I-
garage?
Oh, I
yeah.
thought you were like.
No, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, there's a
Yeah.
reason why your garage is open. And I was like thinking,
Yeah.
it is not
Yeah.
right.
We
Yes.
do. Yeah, we have it. Yeah, we have like a little garage setup, which I mean, currently I'm not working out in it, but
Little baby crunches.
We did during
Yeah.
the pandemic. We definitely
Yes.
did
Yeah.
at that time.
Very
But
cool.
yeah.
Well, this one kind of goes back to like some of the gutter stuff, but like also have a roofer inspect your roof. So we're about to go into rainy season, as kind of Mariana mentioned. So it's a good idea to make sure that your roof is in good condition. You don't have any spots that could lead to leaks or that may be like weak spots or anything like that. And just make sure that it's good and functioning and solid before storms start coming.
Yeah,
Definitely. I
and-
would have, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
I would have a roofer go out over like filing a claim.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely
Oh,
not.
gosh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because they're obviously probably going to tell you.
No,
Yeah.
definitely want to have a reputable roofer because there's a difference between and if you need one, let us know because you want somebody who's local. We call them like storm chasers is what I
Yeah.
call it.
Gosh,
You
yeah.
do have some companies that they'll come in from like Houston and different parts of, the US and they'll literally they'll chase storms and they'll come and knock on doors after a storm is hit. But you want to get your roof inspected. Most inspections are free. If you have a good roofer, they'll even tell you, nope, you're good to go.
Yeah,
You don't need anything. They may say like, hey, it looks good, but you could do, maybe some little sealant here over the nails that, just normal home maintenance stuff. So it shouldn't cost a ton to do. But if you get somebody in who's like really pushing you to, replace the roof and do all the things, but he can't show you like enough hail damage,
Right.
Yeah.
you might want to reconsider before you and find someone else, get a second opinion before you talk to your
Right.
insurance company.
Yeah. So like after that one hailstorm a couple of years ago, we had a roofer come out and he was like, you're good to go. And then like so many people in our neighborhood, I feel like they replaced the roof. And I'm like, did they really need it? Like definitely
Yeah.
have a roofer come out
Right.
before just jumping the gun
Yeah.
and having your roof
And I'm
replaced.
not knocking the people, like, I respect the hustle, but we get people like that door knock and like,
Yeah.
will knock
Right.
on our door and ask to do a free inspection.
Uh-huh.
And Brian, being the nice guy he is, always tells them okay. And I'm sitting there like in the
No.
corner, like, stop, like,
Yeah.
don't, like,
Get off my
Well,
roof.
and like the
Yeah.
reputable companies that are still in DFW and stay in DFW, they're not the ones door knocking.
Right.
Yeah,
Like they
they're
have
They have referral
consistent
business.
business. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like they're, the good companies aren't really going to be doing that.
Right.
Definitely.
So
And I always walk out and I'm like, no, I'm a real estate agent. I have a preferred roof.
Yeah.
Like,
I've done that before
I'm like,
too.
we're good.
Yeah. Or like
Locked in.
tree trimmer,
Yeah.
like people that are like,
And as soon as I say that, he's like, well, if you ever need anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, nope,
Yeah.
good.
totally funny.
oh,
The next
God.
one's just as important. Trim dead limbs and remove any shrubbery that didn't survive winter. So this is good. Just hire someone out to do this if you're not a professional.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
yes.
It's so
yes.
dangerous to
Yeah,
be in the
it
trees
is.
cutting them out
Yep.
or down.
Unless you're
trimming
my
them
house.
out.
Yeah, same. I was about to say, like, Chris
I've
does
done
that all the
it.
time.
I've
Yeah.
got it on a roof in Rocky Creek and done it, but it's not.
Oh
you're
my
not
gosh,
supposed to.
Brandie.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's fine.
I've trimmed limbs
Yeah,
before, yeah.
but it really is important to have someone do it.
I'm
just
laughing.
for the health of the tree too.
I'm laughing because
Right.
we had 2 huge trees in the front of our yard like a few years ago. And yeah, like 2 years ago, we decided to take them out because they were causing issues like,
Uh-huh.
underground
Right.
and stuff. And so I have a video of Brian, my husband. He literally has our Ford Explorer and he has literally straps around the tree and he is pulling the tree down
Oh my
with the
God.
Explorer. And I'm like, babe, we are not in the country.
Yes.
Like, you can do that out there, but
He's like, yes, we are, honey.
The bumper is gonna
He's
fly
like,
off.
he's like asking me. He's like, stay out here, make sure it's not
That
leaning
is
towards the
so
neighbor's house. Oh my gosh! I was like, I'm not staying out here
Yeah.
and letting
That's
it
so funny.
snap.
Yeah.
At our
No.
old house, Chris and
We
his
got
dad.
it all worked out, but
Yeah, Chris and his dad did the same thing for a tree in our old house, but they had a trailer. His dad brought a trailer, and they hauled off the tree.
Yeah.
Oh my
And he got
gosh.
this like electric like tree trimmer for Christmas, and was having
Yeah.
a heyday
don't
with
do
it.
that.
Yeah.
I was like, we're hiring someone
Yes.
to do the
Picture
rest.
of me on top of the roof barefoot taking down the tree.
Yeah,
I'll
definitely.
find
I'd
it
love
for
to
this
see it.
episode.
I also was gonna say it's not just important to trim the